It was declassified during the Frank Church Committee hearings in the late 1970s in the Senate that the CIA in the 60s had developed a term called conspiracy theory for people that questioned the JFK assassination. Of course, hundreds of witnesses were killed. That's a way to take anybody's alternate view or research and just make it heretical, say it doesn't count. But as we move forward into the 21st century, the term conspiracy theorist has become a badge of honor, a badge of courage. It means I'm a heretic. It means I'm asking questions. It means I'm with the thinkers. It means I'm not with the mainstream media. I'm not with the MSM. And now, since Hillary lost the election just a few weeks ago, the new term pushed by the Pope and pushed by our own media and pushed by the president is fake news. We need a strong central government running media, state-run media, to counter this scourge of thousands of websites and choices. The fact is they don't like a larger palette, a larger spectrum of discussion. So I thought I'd show you an article out of Foreign Affairs put out by the Washington Post. This is their own magazine. In 2013, U.S. repeals propaganda ban, spreads government-made news to Americans. And that means whoever runs the government, taxpayer-funded, spreads their news to you. So when Hillary this same year said, we're losing the info war, we've got to start acting against these American interests, that's what's happening. So that's why they say if you're against gun control or open borders, you must be a Ruski agent. That's why if you say there could be election fraud, it doesn't exist until Hillary declares the election a fraud. So you can read this for yourself about domestic CIA and other agency propaganda in America where they admit that they're feeding you fake news and disinfo. And I got to hand it to them. Our media has been so state-run that until this happened 3 years ago, I'd see some lies, some distortion, but media wasn't really top-down controlled. Now, every week I'll see an article, sometimes 1,000 times against me, usually a couple hundred times, with the exact same talking points, the same quotes, but just different journalists, different names, putting their name to it. It doesn't hurt me because they're like the old Soviet Union or Fidel Castro's Cuba or Hugo Chavez's Venezuela. They're discredited. It's a badge of courage, of honor, to be demonized by these traitors. But there are some weak-minded people that go along with it and buy into it. It's incredible. One example is the latest Sandy Hook stuff. I never said nobody died there. I said some people have said that. They took that out of context. I'm not running from what I said. It's on record. But they misrepresent it and say nobody died. All I said was blue screen was used, actors were used. That's been admitted now. CNN gets caught using actors in interviews all the time. I said they were exacerbating it using the crisis. They don't want to go where I actually went. They just want to say that I said something outrageous. Kind of like the big joke in the news this week from the Rolling Stone magazine to the New York Times is Alex Jones says the government's making frogs gay. I was actually reading New Scientist and the BBC and a bunch of other publications where I was showing that they're having asexual traits or bisexual traits in amphibians and fish and massive sterilization from the runoff of chemicals into the water. And this is affecting humans, other mammals, and again, amphibians and fish, as I mentioned. Instead of having an intellectual debate about that or how glyphosate's causing massive spikes in breast cancer, they also make the same gay frog joke. And I just like sit back and go, I'm not your enemy. I just want us to stop living in poison. But they're all bought and paid for mercenary hacks, so that's what they do. So this is a pretty big deal. We've laid out here the big mystery of where the fake news is coming from. And it turns out the CIA and the State Department are behind the fake news and calling real news fake news in an attempt to move in a program of censorship against the free and independent web. And so in closing, to the credit of some of the mainstream media news organizations, they've come out and said blacklist of news saying what's real and what isn't is very, very dangerous, especially when it's nebulous groups we've never heard of that the Washington Post is publishing from who are listing mainline organizations as, quote, fake news. It's a very, very dangerous road we're going down as they attempt to censor us because we are kicking their ass up and down the street. Quantcast is the main global analysis organization of Google numbers, and they list Infowars.com at 126. That's bigger than BBC, bigger than the New York Times. Infowars.com, it should be noted, to their horror, is only one small part of our larger organization. The syndicated radio, the TV, the other websites, the Facebook, the Twitter, the YouTube, the Google. So if they're freaking out, realizing that we're bigger than they are already, that's only the establishment focusing on one little area. But the reason they're so panicked is they left a vacuum. They became corporate whores. They became repeaters. They became regurgitators of disinformation. They blew their own feet off. They destroyed themselves. We didn't. I'm not in competition with these people. But they were arrogant and believed they controlled human destiny. And they believe they can lie to us and get away with it forever. But history shows that's just not the case. Is Infowars.com perfect? Absolutely not. But we've proven in 20 plus years on air that we're dedicated to seeking the truth and building up goodwill amongst humanity and trying to promote prosperity and free association and free will. And that trumps tyranny and centralization any day. So join us in this epic quest for truth, justice, and reality while it lasts at Infowars.com.
Clean, pure drinking water. You can't survive without it. But where do you get it? Alexa Pure Pro is a brand new, groundbreaking, gravity-fed water filtration system that is like no other. The Alexa Pure Pro transforms water from virtually any fresh source into clean, healthy drinking water, pairing the unprecedented superfiltration power of an all-new gravity block core with a hybrid chromatic shell. It removes up to 99.999% of impurities, including bacteria, viruses, fluoride, disinfectants, volatile organic contaminants, and hormones. Filter capacity up to 5,000 gallons. Stainless steel construction. Easy assembly. Low maintenance. Replacement filters are simple to install. And now, as part of an exclusive limited time introductory offer, you can save $20 off the retail price and get free shipping. This is a limited time offer, so order your unit today and receive free shipping and $20 off. Go to InfoWarsStore.com or call 888-253-3139.